So I'll be talking today about 1/14 of an elephant, which is our next book draw. So I'm going to give you a bit of an overview of the book. It's a terrific read. I must admit that in the last meeting I actually thought that it was actually the complete story, including Singapore, but it's not actually. It starts from Bampong onwards on the Thailand-Burma Railway. So 1/14 of an Elephant by Ian Dennis Peake was first published 31st of March 2003 by Pan Macmillan in Australia. So 1/14 of an Elephant has been described in many accounts as being one of the most compelling narratives written of the life and the appalling conditions on the Thailand to Burma Railway. It's written in a present tense, and Ian Dennis Peake has been able to capture an array of information from many, many reliable sources to tell this brutal, honest story as his memoir. Ian Dennis Peake and his older brother Ron were both born in England and educated at public school, and they both gave their same address as being Brookman Park in Hertfordshire on their liberation questionnaires. Their parents had interests in Shanghai, where the boys spent most of their school holidays, and on completion of their education, the boys were finally reunited with their parents at Singapore. With a public school education, Ian and Ron joined up as privates in the Straits Settlements Volunteer Force, with an aspiration of a fast-track promotion to becoming an officer. This, of course, didn't happen, and due to the Japanese attack on the Pacific region and the rapid advance on Malaya, resulting in the tragic surrender of Singapore. So the book itself is 520 pages and was written here in Perth, Western Australia, where I live, where Ian and his brother settled in the southern suburbs of Como during the 1960s, and along with his brother, who was an amputee from the railway. My preference with the book would have been that, purely, from a research perspective, would have been that it had an index, but unfortunately it doesn't. But what it does have is very, very good timeline of chapters running throughout the whole book. So it gives you a good running reference to all the areas of the railway that they were working and captured. So the author notes he avoided using surnames and used pseudonyms instead, which I agree with his notes that it hasn't affected the narrative in any way. It's a terrific read. It's fast-flowing and it's extremely informative. In addition, he has also shortened the abbreviations of names and places, which was popular among POWs and widely seen in other publications, so therefore easy to recognise. And it also has an extremely good glossary of terms. The storyline of 1/14 of Elephant does commence on arrival at Bampong in October 1942. Both Ian and Ron travelled to Thailand on a working party from the Great World POW camp, leaving Singapore on the 12th of October under Major John Edward Allen Clark. From there, they were marched up country to Wangpo and worked with D Battalion of Group 4. So it's a fantastic read for anyone who's got relations or interest in Group 4 camps and Group 4 area, as a significant resource to the avid researcher, offering a wonderful detail of camp life and working through those terrible conditions on the railway, covering events involving the dealings and sufferings under various Japanese and Korean guards. Each chapter holds something for every reader, whether it's at the camps at Wangpo, Tonchen, Kanyu, Hintok, Kinsayok, Tarseo Hospital, Tamuang, Nakhon Pathom and Nakhon Nayok, and the march up into the interior of Thailand towards Chiang Mai. The book is a must to read for everyone. On further research, I did actually discover that Ian Dennis Peake wrote this book as a pensioner. He was 84 years old when he wrote the book, and in 2015, unfortunately, he encountered the Department of Veterans Affairs, and he earned too much money in royalties that it actually affected his pension. So I think that's pretty tragic, that he produced this wonderful book only to be penalised down the track because the Australian government felt he was earning too much money from it. But anyway, that's the book. It's a fantastic read, and I would recommend anyone other than the worthy winner today, anyone else who hasn't read the book, I would thoroughly recommend it. So over to you, Ron.
Right, thanks, Martin. Brilliant. I like your pronunciation of the Thai names. I'll have to record that piece. Brilliant. Okay, so all the names are in there fresh. All right, so for this month's draw, we'll start the draw now. Right, Doreen Cofferty. Okay, so the book will be on the way, Doreen, to you as soon as possible, and hope you enjoy it.